headphones here set up. Let me get everything going. 2 p.m. you promised. I'm up. I'm here. All right, so I'm gonna hit play on this for a bit and talk, and you guys can let me know how the audio levels are. Give me just a second here. Okay. So now I'm talking, and you can hear me. Let me tell you what you think about the audio levels. Hey guys, hey everybody. Thanks for joining. Just let me get finished setting up. So this is like almost my first live stream. So it's gonna be a little bit of messing around here. Yeah, I thought the music was a bit high last time. I rewatched the last stream. Okay. I turned the music down. Let's try this. Okay, how's this sound? I'm talking, the music's going. Most of the time when I talk, I'm gonna have the music off anyway, but it'll be good to have it like a good mix, I think. Turn the music down about 9%, I think. But anyway, let me know what that's like. Even quieter. Alright, sure. Let's turn it down some more. Actually, I could probably turn up my volume on my microphone too. Alright. Let's try this. Okay. Got this going. Got the stream going, yeah. Oh, cool. Well, thanks, Noel. Okay, cool, yeah, good levels. I'll keep it at this from now on, then. So anyway, welcome! Let me show you guys what I'm working on here. So this, for those of you who don't know, is the track that I originally was working on for a documentary that I was doing music for. This I didn't end up using this track for the documentary, so I decided to just use it as part of the live stream and just do whatever I wanted with it, and you guys can get to watch. So yeah, it's been really fun. I did it like a test live stream last week, and it was so fun that I just kept going, and it wasn't just a test, it sort of became a live stream. So we're going to continue with this this time. But anyway, I will play the entire track from beginning to end of what we have so far, and then we can start talking about it. Oh, it still says Super Metroid. Hey, I thought I updated this. Hang on, it must have messed that up. Yeah, hang on. That's really weird. Update. Okay, now if you reload the page, it should come up with the proper title. Yeah, sorry guys. This is going to be a little bit of like... There's always going to be a little bit of finagling here in the beginning, because this is kind of a new thing, and I'm still working out all the technical kinks of everything. So anyway, yes, this is not Super Metroid. That was Thursday. And okay, so let's just play the track. Thanks, everybody. Okay. So that's the whole thing so far. And we added, last week we added this whole section, I believe. And it was mostly just copying ideas from the previous parts of the track over. Got some questions here. Oh, okay, so differences between FL Studio. So we got one person saying, Mega Rami is saying, curious what the difference between this and FL Studio is. I actually don't know because I've never used FL Studio. I hear FL Studio is awesome though. We've got, what program is it? This is Cubase. I use Cubase for everything. For those of you who don't know, I'm Ben Prunty. I did the music for FTL, Gravity Ghost, Star Crawlers. I'm doing the music for Skytorn, Frank and John, Steve Swink's Scale, and some other secret stuff that I can't talk about. I just did the music for a documentary that I also can't talk about. And this track was originally for it but didn't get used. And so now I'm just doing whatever I feel like with it. And you guys get to watch. So, okay, so I'm going to go over a couple of things real quickly, well, as quickly as I can, about how I sort of wrote this. So, I usually start with I like to start with a chord progression and then sort of build out from there. And so I usually start with some kind of last week I was calling it a core, but I think a better description would be a seed. And so this little piece here was the seed, and I'm going to play it here for you soloed. We're gonna hit the S here to solo this track, so nothing else plays, and then you can see this. These are the notes that are being played, and you can hear what I call the seed of this whole track. So that's the whole thing. Like, I came up with that. It's really simple. It's 3 chords, and they're really simple chords too. This one's an E minor. This one's a D major. Yeah, D major, and then a C major. E minor, D major, C major. Very, very simple. Oh, hey, thanks, Maidanthrope. Glad you like the music. I'll be doing this every Saturday, so you can come back, and I'm going to be recording these. These are going to end up on YouTube as well, so even if you miss some of it, you can catch it later. Okay, so this little thing was like the core, so I started with just this, and then I sort of built off of it, and everything else was built around that. So then, like, to have like the intro, I just took the first part, this, and just repeated it over and over and over again. And you can kind of see the difference in shape here as opposed to here. So this just repeats, and then then I added a bass line. Here's the bass line. I'll solo this. Oops, it's not soloed. This is just a bass line. Really simple again. Or actually, I guess this is a better. Very simple bass line. It sounds a little weird. Might need to check on that. And then like some pads. These are what I call pads. Oh, we got some questions. How do you input these seeds with keyboard? Yes, I have. You can't really see it here, but there's a. Here, let me move the camera down. There's a musical keyboard here in front of me. So I've got the computer keyboard and the mouse, and then a MIDI keyboard here that I use to input notes. And if I hit stuff, there's a little bit of a delay between the video and the sound, but you can. So yeah, that's how I input stuff. And then I'll do that in like a combination of actually placing notes on the grid. So like here I have this like grid view, and I can actually use like a pen tool, and I can actually draw notes like that. And then I can set velocities here, which is like how hard the note is hit or other things that I might want to do. So we'll delete that right now. So yeah, that's sort of how I input stuff. I'm not a terribly good keyboard player, so I do like usually I'll play simple parts myself, or play a part and then embellish it with the programming. So anyway, yeah, there is very little delay, and I'm really happy about that. It took a lot of like tweaking, but I have a fairly beefy machine that I built myself just for music production, so it helps. Slots. Yeah, Cubase is kind of expensive. I started out with the cheap version, cheapest, the $100 version, and worked my way up from there. Good music production tools tend to be kind of expensive because they're very difficult to make. Hey, Recursion. Thanks for joining. So anyway, I had an idea for this later part So here we got to the end, and I was starting to get a little bit old. Like, it was starting to get kind of repetitive at this point. So I wanted to switch it up. So let's start here, and we'll listen to it, and then I'll tell you guys about what I want to add. Okay, so you notice that there's a shift in the sound right at this point. Hey, Master Sword, and hey, Rotaka, I know you from OC Remix. I'm familiar with your stuff. So anyway, you can see that it changes right there, and that is me taking this part, which is back here, or right here. So let me solo this. So that bass line follows the same chord progression that you heard before. Anyway, so I wanted to change it up, and an easy way to change things up is to move everything up a fifth, and then maybe write new parts or whatever. So I just took that same bass line and moved it up a fifth, and it sounds really cool at the end of this part. So let's start midway through this here. So yeah, pretty awesome, right? So we're going to go from there, and I have an idea of what to add. Okay, so we've got a couple of questions. Hey, Ben, I know nothing about music, but love your FTL soundtrack. Hey, thanks! Still listen to it every day. Awesome. Fireflazer asks, what happened to the flute parts from last week? I did... We kind of experimented with flute parts, but I wasn't really pleased with it. So I have another idea that I want to do. As long as you avoid the dreaded parallel thefts. Yeah, I don't really do that very much. You can do it occasionally and get away with it if you know what you're doing. But yeah, most of the time you don't want to do it too much. Alright, so I wanted to switch things up, and I want to add something new to the sound, because everything's sort of like pure synth stuff. And so I loaded up the Tina Guo legato cello, and this thing sounds awesome. And so we're gonna try playing like a simple cello part for this area. So I'm gonna move that out of the way, and we're gonna play some of this. That was terrible. So yeah, you can have a lot of fun with this. Then we'll just move it back and try again here. So lots of fun. So we'll just keep like messing around with this until I find something that I kind of like. We'll try a higher octave here. Whoops. Yeah, really fun, right? I could just do that for like hours. So the legato cello, let me pull it back here. It's what we call a deep sampled instrument. So like Tina Guo is like a really good cello player, and she's famous for it. And so she got together with the Cinesamples, and they sort of like made this instrument. And it allows me to just play notes. You'll see on the bottom there, you'll see the keyboard being played, which is me hitting the keys on my keyboard here. And so yeah, it's really awesome. It sounds amazing. It can't really play anything very fast. As soon as you try to play fast stuff, it kind of breaks down. Like, it handles itself really well, but like you can't go too fast with it. So you have to play slower parts with it, and that's fine. Whatever, it's really limited, but it sounds amazing. So you're pretty happy about it anyway. Let me see if we got any questions here. Okay, no questions yet. But anyway, yeah, it's crazy. They do sample libraries of famous musicians now. I think Alicia Keys has like a piano sampler. Imogen Heap, who's one of my favorite electronic artists, she did her own sample library. It's pretty awesome. So anyway, let's do a little bit more like messing around with this for a while. Oh, we do have a question. Hey Ben, is there any software you'd recommend for someone interested in starting to produce music? Yeah, oh man, I get this question a lot, and I wish I had a better answer. Because like for like game development, you can be like, just get Game Maker and start messing around with it, and because it's like entry level. But there's no real equivalent for music production. There's no like maybe GarageBand. GarageBand's pretty cool, and it's a good like entry level. But if you don't have a Mac, you're out of luck. So I wish there was some kind of equivalent. And if anybody knows of an equivalent, like Game Maker, but for music production, please let me know and say it in the chat, because I would love to start recommending something to beginner musicians. Most digital audio workstations have beginner entry-level versions of their products, and they're usually $100. So you can get like Ableton or Cubase, possibly FL Studio, I don't really know, for like $100, and that's like a good entry level. And it's like a professional tool that you can get for like a lower price. So yeah, that's definitely worth looking into. Let's see here. Now I don't remember what my question was. Whoops. All right. So I'm gonna mess around with this thing for a while here. Like that. I'm gonna just start recording stuff. Okay, and now part of what you need to handle with this cello is that it's supposed to be legato. So you're supposed to hit the keys like overlapping. The notes need to overlap a bit so that it can trigger the legato, which means like it smoothly transitions from one note to another. And it looks like everything is overlapping. So maybe I don't need to worry about it, but make sure it is. I think I saw in the comments someone was saying that digital audio workstations look really intimidating, and that's true, and that's what I don't like about them. I wish there was some more accessible solution, some sort of like digital audio workstation that's like approachable, like Game Maker is for video games. But yeah, it's like pretty tough. Change some of this, move this back a little. That's too loud. Turn that down a bit. Oh, sorry, you know what? I'm looking at my other screen here, and I should be doing this. I'm adjusting the volume of the... I'm turning the volume of the cello down a bit. Okay, so there's something else I wanted to do, was like... start adding some interest. I know some people mentioned, like, percussion, and I do kind of want to add some percussion, maybe. I think it'd be pretty cool. Might be really fun. Oh, we got some questions. Try adding some double stops. Yeah, maybe. The addition of this instrument really makes this stand out from your other pieces. This is sort of the music that you hope to get out of these live streams, that is lots of unique pieces like your earlier albums. You know, I don't really have any goal for like what to write for these live streams. I was actually thinking of sticking more closely to like electronic stuff for the live stream, just because like it's a bit easier for me to handle and also talk to you guys and, you know, answer questions at the same time. But, you know, we'll just kind of do whatever for now. Yeah, the last note is a little bit long. I'm not too worried about it right now. I'll lower it. I'll bring it down a little bit, like there. Right, jazz. Yeah, that'll be the day. Okay, so let's hear this in context. So I'm gonna move. We're gonna go back and listen to starting from here. You know, well, let's go here. All right, see you later, Recursion. Thanks for joining in. I also don't really like that transition there. I want to fix that at some point. Okay, see you later, Mega Ramy. Thanks for joining also. Yeah, nice. That's a good movement there. Good. Well, we'll keep this kind of longer for now, and then we'll figure out what to do with it later. Okay, I kind of want to stretch this out a bit, move this over one measure. Yeah, I kind of like that better. Sorry guys, just messing around with the bass line. I don't know why it's sounding weird to me. But anyway, we got some questions. What are these massive and reactor names? Oh yeah, so I haven't been properly naming the tracks, which is kind of bad form. You probably shouldn't do that. Massive refers to the synthesizer that's being used. Also reactor does as well. Massive is this synthesizer, and so that's the bass line. So that's what it sounds like. And so it's coming from this. And reactor is another tool for making synths stuff, and I'm using steam pipe in it right now. So, okay. Actually, one strange question while I get ready. Is there a game you wish you'd done the soundtrack for? Or like a dream job kind of thing? Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really thought about doing soundtracks for like games that already have soundtracks, because I usually just like the soundtracks of them already. I once said that like I wished I could have done the soundtrack to the show Twin Peaks, because I used to not like the music for it, and now I kind of appreciate it better. But for a while there, I was kind of like didn't like the music. So it would be like if it was something that I wanted to do, it would be something that I didn't like the music for already. But yeah, I tend to like making new music for new stuff that doesn't have music yet. If that makes any sense. Okay, so I was thinking of like adding like a build up here and then like a release. That would be, seems like it would be really fun. And I haven't done any like flourishes yet. Like it's all been pretty much straight up like one synth after another, and no real like transitional flourishes, which I usually add at the end. But we can add some of that right now. So first of all, I have this thing that I use a lot, and it works great for synth stuff, and I call it a noise splash. Let me see if I can find it. I have like a... Oh wait, I should put this over here because it has some secret information on it. Where is that thing? There it is. Oh. Off-Rabby asks, how long did it take to make the FTL soundtrack? I would say it was about 6 months of near full-time work. These days I could do it in much less time, but at the time it was like, that's how long it took. Okay, so Noise Splash is just that. It's just a long tail splash of like white noise, and I use like a basic synthesizer for it. So we can even just like, we don't even have to play it, we can just put it in with like, it's gonna be kind of noisy, sorry. Quantize it there. And then I can turn this down a little. And then we add something else here. Watch this. Okay. Load up Contact. Now I have a thing in Contact. Here's, Contact is a sampler, and you can load up sample libraries in it. I'm going to load up Rev, which is a reverse instrument library, and it has a special thing in it called Rises. So Rises, they just have, you can, it looks at your tempo and it gives you a whole bunch of options here. So I'm going to say I want a 1-bar rise with like what they call a tail. And then you can hear it, if I can find where it is on the keyboard here. So yeah, that's really fun. No, not that one. You just take these and you can find what... That kind of sounds good. So, alright, so we put in a rise here. Maybe we could do 2 bars? I don't know. This is 1 bar, so we can just drop it in. What do we have here? Where was it? This one. So, don't even remember how long this thing is. Whoops, don't want to do that. Ooh, that sounds awful. Okay, this doesn't work. So, let me see here. Move this down. Let me mute it first so it doesn't sound awful to you. I'm still going to hear it anyway. So this, turn this down maybe. Usually have to turn this way down. I don't like that. Okay, we'll just get rid of that entirely. You know, that sounds good for now. We can add other stuff later if we like it. So we'll just keep that muted. So I really like these. I want them to keep going. So we're going to double that, and we're going to keep this going too, I think. And the bass line. Oh yeah, Output Instruments. They make amazing stuff. So they also did the tools that I do for this stuff here. I'm gonna solo these two, and you can hear them. They sound amazing. In fact, that sounds so cool. Maybe we will just have it go for a bit here. Like, let's mute this, and we'll mute. Cut this. Mute it. See what this sounds like. Nope, a little too late for that. Yeah, it sounds really cool by itself. Yeah, those were Signal. So Signal is this really cool like pattern. Oh, maybe that's not Signal. I thought it was. Hang on. This one. Okay, yeah. All right, so this was massive. Yeah, it's just a simple pad that has some chopped effect on it. But this is definitely Signal. You can take a look at it here once I load it up. Yeah, so this is Signal, and I just made this really quickly. It's like a sine wave, or a sine pluck, and a muted guitar sound. Sounds really cool. So Signal, you can you just take two like instruments, either like synths or like some kind of sampled instrument, and you set a pattern for each one. And then you can do effects, and you can do like double patterns and have them kind of interact with each other. You have like a little effects section. So you can sort of make a really cool rhythm pattern really fast. And so like if you need something cool sounding, like really fun to make. What could we add here? Oops. Yeah, you're gonna hear weird stuff sometimes that doesn't seem to fit, and that's just because because of the real-time nature of working with digital audio, you're gonna get stuff that doesn't always sound right when you hit the play button. But you just get used to it. You know what to expect. You know what? Let's do another. Let's just so you guys can see it. It's because it's really cool. We'll do another Signal instrument there. Let me see here. Add a track. Contact. Oh, we got a question. Is this project for a game? This project was originally for a documentary that I did the music for, that I didn't end up using in the documentary. So now we're messing around with it here. So we're gonna load up Signal. So this is Signal's interface, and it loads up like the default patch, but I'm just gonna show you like a basic thing. So here's the initial. All it does right now is it's just like a saw wave. Not very exciting. But let's see here. We can like load up. Let's load that up. And then, so then you can choose what kind of rhythm you want it to have. So you like, okay, I want like an arpeggio. Not very exciting, right? But you know, you mess with it until it does sound cool. These are like default ones. Yeah, I don't really like that. We'll just stick with the wave. And then you can like pick a wave form. Pretty cool, right? I like that this triangle sounds really cool. And then to get like some stereo, you can be like, let's do this. And it kind of, if you have stereo, if you got headphones, you can hear that it moves like left and right rapidly. And then we can load up another thing. That sounds awful, right? But then we can like say, have like, I don't know, triangle wave. And we gotta load up. We'll do arpeggio for this thing. Okay, let's start with this basic thing. We can like mess around with it. See, it already sounds kind of cool, and then we can like add a phaser effect or like a chorus. Yeah, I don't really like that. Kind of like the phaser though. Lower the depth a little, and then one of my favorite things to do is add delay to it. Do a 1/8 dotted. Actually, the chorus does sound kind of cool. Maybe we'll just lower the depth a little. Yeah, that sounds neat. Oh, and then we can do like individual pulse things. So I can be like, add drive to that original thing. Oh god, too loud. Ooh, we can do a stereo spread, which I always like to do. Maybe we don't need it. Yeah, it sounds pretty cool. Yeah, the stereo will mess with your head when it's by itself, but once you put it into the music, with everything else, I mean, it won't be as bad. Okay, so what do we got for this chord? So it's like B. Oh, it's a B, right? Yeah. In fact, we can just take this thing. So this is where you like reusing stuff. We can just grab this and move it down here, and we have an instant new part with the new piece the new signal thing that we just made. Save, and I'll even color it. We'll make it purple because there's not enough purple here. Yeah. All right. Let's see how it sounds. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I kind of want that triangle wave. Oh, someone's asking, how do you color the track while just mousing over the inspector? Yeah, if you move your mouse over the inspector part here, the title, and move the mouse wheel, you can scroll through all the different colors really quickly. And I only recently discovered that, and I'm super happy about it because it makes coloring things way easier. Okay, I want to make the triangle wave a little louder, so we're going to turn that up a bit, just a little. Okay, pretty cool. What if we did 1 octave lower? So we're dropping everything an octave on that instrument and see how it sounds. I think it's better the way it was. So oops. So yeah, pretty cool. Let's try one more thing. Okay, let's try something else. We're gonna do some. Let's try some drum stuff. Yeah, I freaking loved Signal. I used it a ton for that documentary that I can't talk about. And it really helped like make cool stuff really quickly that I can just build on. Okay, we got some more questions. Hey, Birdie. Let's see here. We got a question. When you're making a track, do you find yourself more often just playing with the things like you just did, or going back to presets you made in the past? I do a little bit of both. It depends on the project too. Like for like a project that I'm deep into and I've done a lot of tracks for it already, I will often, for new inspiration, I will load up presets from previous tracks that I worked on in the soundtrack. And this like helps keep me going and also helps give the soundtrack like a more cohesive feel. So you keep using the same instruments over and over again, and the identity of what you're working on, like the project, becomes more becomes stronger. So oh yeah, there it is. Somebody actually, there's information on the movie. They didn't tell me about this. But anyway, we don't have like a movie poster or anything yet. Do they have my like name on IMDb? No, they don't have anything. Oh, they do have me. Whoa, I'm on IMDb, guys. That's weird. But yeah, that's the documentary I'm doing. I guess they're talking about it now. So anyway, when is the documentary coming out? I don't really know. It says 2016 here on IMDb, and I don't really know much about it. And I will release the soundtrack when the movie itself releases. So I'm still kind of waiting. Anyway, so I loaded up Battery, and Battery is a drum machine sampler kit thing. So I'm gonna load up. Let's just load up the basic kit. I have this idea of. Oh, that's like a double kick. Okay. So this is something I did with FTL a lot, and I did a little bit in the documentary. I don't know if it's gonna work here, but we'll try it anyway. My rhythm is terrible. Let me try something else here. this. Yep, exactly. That's what quantize is for. To make up for my terrible playing. So we're just making a very quick, like... So I'm going to show you, like, some techniques here for, like, making a very quick, like, kind of cool drum thing. Oh, I remember that. I don't know what that last shrine thing is. That was definitely music of mine used without my permission. So, no idea about that last shrine thing. Yeah, definitely. It was definitely more than $1 budget for the documentary film. Let's listen to this song. A little bit louder. A little flourish there. Yeah, whatever that last shrine thing on IMDb is, I was not involved in it, so I don't know. I don't know how I got there. Okay, so I just took this thing that I just made, and I'm doubling it here, and so now we've got lots of it. Now let's listen to it. So I'm going to do kind of similar technique of what I did with like FTL and Milky Way. You guys will probably recognize this kind of sound. So first, we're going to add some delay. We'll do a ping pong delay. Now delay is sort of like an echo. Like you hear the sound and then you'll hear it again at regular intervals. And I like to do, for music like this, in this style, I do a 1/8 note dotted delay, and then I'm going to turn it down a little, and then you will hear what it sounds like. It sounds really cool. So here, I'll even play it soloed and by itself so you can hear the difference, and we'll turn it off first so you hear it without the delay. Really simple, right? Now we have it with the delay. So now we got like a different kind of sound, and it doesn't necessarily sound like a real drummer or whatever, but it sounds really cool in place. Turn it down a little bit. Let's also add some reverb, maybe. Let's try it. See what it sounds like. Maybe just some simple. So we've got a simple reverb that comes with Cubase called Roomworks. And so what I always did for FTL, since I know you're all FTL fans, I'm going to do a lot of FTL type stuff. I believe I did Cathedral? No. No, it was Grand Chamber, I think, maybe. And then I usually turn down the mix a little. Oops, let's go back a bit. Yeah, it sounds pretty cool now, right? Okay, we got some information here. Got some stuff here. I always struggle using Cubase's MIDI window drum map for drums and stuff. If I want the drums or percussion a little lazy on the beat, like a slight swing, say on a trip-hop track, I can never balance the quantized swing function to get it just right. Yeah, that is a bit tricky, and it does require a lot of finagling, and a lot of it you're just going to have to like kind of mess with it yourself. With a lot of the styles of music I do, there's not a lot of really complicated groove or swing, but yeah, most of it's just going to be like kind of messing with it yourself. Yeah, one thing you definitely want to do is iterative quantize. For like a song like this, you don't need to do it as much. Like I just straight up hard quantize all of this. But up here, you can click this and turn this on, and it turns on iterative quantize, and that instead of just hard quantizing everything, it moves everything a percentage amount towards its quantized place. So it moves everything closer to where it like the beat, but it doesn't just put it there completely. And that's a good way to like tighten up your playing, but without making it too robotic. You know what? We haven't listened to this whole thing in a while, so let's go back and listen to the entire piece. Oh, I hate that transition. Okay, so pretty cool. Yeah, Wet Desert Rock. The flute is not really supposed to sound like a real flute. It's just like a cool synth part that sounds flute-esque. I actually kind of like how synthy it sounds. So I'm keeping it the way it is. Hello, Nautilus Party, and thanks. Glad you enjoy the music. I've actually been doing a live streaming for quite a while, but only just started doing creative live stream. And so I'd love your guys' feedback on like how this is going and what you guys like and what you want to see more of. So yeah, definitely let me know. And I hope to eventually do a Patreon for this once I get kind of used to the rhythm of this thing. And for those of you who don't know, Patreon is like a voluntary subscription service. So like you can choose to pay money to support like a creative project, like me doing these live streams or whatever. So like I do the live stream, it goes to everybody, it's free, anybody can watch it because it's on Twitch, and there wouldn't be any kind of paywall. But if you want, you can pay money to have this sort of voluntary subscription. You get some bonuses or whatever. I haven't figured everything out what it's going to be, but that's sort of how Patreon works. Is like you subscribe for a certain amount monthly, whatever you want. It can be, you know, nothing, or it can be like $5 or $10 or whatever. But yeah, I got to figure out like the details of what it would sound, what it would be, and everything. But yeah, I really love doing these live streams, so I'd do them even if there was no Patreon. But it would help like allow me like more time to do this kind of thing and put more resources towards it. All right. Oh yeah, super curious about how you're doing it. Yeah, well, that's why I have the live stream. I want to do a new bass line here. Like it needs a bass line, and I gotta figure out what to put in. You know what? I wish I could remember what it was. So I've been starting to use Cubase's Retrolog. This is a synth that's included in Cubase by default, but it's awesome. And I only just like recently learned about. Oh yeah, this is it. I already had the thing loaded. That sounds really weird. Why does it sound like that? Getting some like distortion at the low end, and I'm not sure why. Don't normally get that. Only when I'm live streaming. I don't know if you guys are hearing it or not. It could just be like my headphones or something, but I'm getting like a buzzing distortion. But this sounds great, right? This is just a preset on this. Anyway, if you get Cubase like the higher than the $100 one, you get one of the more like the pro ones. Yeah, sounds like glitchy artifacts. Yeah, that's what I'm getting too, and I don't know why it only happens during the live stream and not normally. You can hear it kind of like when this thing is playing too, this bass line. It doesn't really make... You don't really notice it. You can kind of hear it. But I can't figure out something I gotta figure out. Is how to fix that. Hey there, Professor. Welcome back. Yeah, it could be a buffering issue or something. I don't know why it's only on the low end either. Oh, there's some delay on the... That's weird, too. That's new. Oh, I'm looking at something different. That's got a compressor on it. That's fine. I was playing the wrong instrument, which happens a lot. Okay, here we go, Retrolog. Yeah, oh boy, that sounds really bad. Turn it down at least. Hey, Sfax. Yeah, I'm really pleased with the number of... So, we got this... I turned it down a little, and that kind of helped the... It's a little too low. What if we just did like a simple like eighth note, like the... Whoops. So we're gonna do this, and we double it. Do this, double it again. This is gonna sound really mechanical at first, but we're gonna try it out. Actually, oh, it does have a bit of a difference in velocity, so... But looks like you gotta be a bit higher. What does that sound like? It might sound awful, who knows? Ooh, that does sound cool. Okay. Let's... We don't need to do this, right? Yeah. Okay, so I'm cutting this out and just doubling this. So now... Oh, I gotta actually change the note too, huh? So this part here, let's combine these two. Does that sound good? Yeah, that sounds cool. Maybe if we go down. That's too low. Get rid of that, and we just double this. Let's make some colors here. Make this, yeah, like that green. And this, make it orange. Let's do a different, slightly different bass line. So I just did like, so you can see for this part, I did, you know, it goes from B to F sharp and then to up to D. And we're going to do slightly different the second time it comes up here. So we'll do... Oh, see you later, Sfax. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, Ben, you might have just sold a copy of Cubase. Yeah, I love Cubase. I know a lot of people find it difficult to work with because it's one of the oldest digital audio workstations, and so it has a lot of different... The design is a lot different than modern ones. I would also definitely recommend Ableton. I've been learning Ableton, and I love it. Excuse me. So definitely could work. Oh, I want to do that. I want to go from B to A, I think. Let me see. Yeah. And we'll stick with that as D. So yeah, now we've altered it. So now these two parts are slightly different. So it gives it more interest. Maybe we'll change the D to something else. So this is what music composing is you place something, you listen to it, and you modify it a little bit. You listen to it again, and you modify it. It's much like a lot of other creative things. I want it to go down, so let's try to do an F. I don't know if this will sound good or not, but... Try E. No, I don't like Yeah, we could do. We could just shift all the way down. Yeah, actually, it's kind of neat. Yeah, let's leave it like that. Thanks, Professor. Let's do it. Let's go back here. Something's still not right, and I don't know what it is yet. Yeah, Rexin effect. Rexin effect is pretty much right. All the professional digital audio workstations pretty much do the same thing. So it's, it's totally fine. It's legit to like just pick one that looks the coolest to you and just learn it. And if you really hate it, you're out like $100 of the low end version, and you'll save up and get a different one. But yeah, they all kind of do the same thing. Mega Ramy has a question. How did you first start out? Self-taught or through a uni? My girlfriend does a lot of emulating tracks to learn how to use the software. I started out in high school. I used to listen to like electronic music in the 90s, and I thought it was really cool, and I wanted to do it myself, but I didn't know how. And I found in a paper catalog Sonic Foundry's Acid, and I ordered that. This is how long ago it was, out of a paper catalog, and started working on that. And then I went to school for audio engineering, which was sort of like recording bands. We had like a studio, and we learned how to like record local like rock bands. And then from then on, that was just like a 2-year program. And after that, I was just like, I taught myself everything. I taught myself Cubase, I taught myself music theory, and just worked from there. So my engineering skills of like knowledge of EQ. This is EQ, where you can boost or cut different frequencies of a sound. That was sort of like I learned in school, and like about what effects are like, delay and echo and reverb, and like compressors and things like that I learned in school. Cubase itself I learned on my own, and yeah, it's been an interesting journey, and it took about so I started doing music production I would say in 2000, and that was when I was like 16 or 17. And then FTL came out in 2012, so that was about 12 years between starting and becoming successful. So that kind of shows you how much work goes into this kind of thing. I believe one of our moderators can put a link to my article about starting out as a musician. It's an article on my blog called "The Best Advice I Can Give to a Aspiring Musician," or something like that. I forget what the title is, but Or you know what? I can just put the link in here. Blog. So, got some. Do we have any more questions? Here we go. I will put this in the chat. Oh, no, Master Sword got it already. So yeah, you can read about, that sort of talks about my start in music, and it goes into a bit more detail. How do you get over the nerves of trying a commitment like that? Well, that's a good question, and I don't know if I have a really good answer for that. Like, it's not an easy thing to do. You gotta have the support of like people around you, people who think that you're doing the right thing, and it also helps. Like, I had like a good group of friends that were very like supportive and helpful, and like when I was really getting into it, I like lived with roommates to keep costs down. I worked at a part-time job, so I had more time to spend doing music. So like when FTL came along, I was working part-time, so I could just like dive into the working on the soundtrack immediately. So yeah, that's sort of how that happened. It can be really hard to like commit to this kind of thing, but I figure it's like, what else am I gonna do? Like, I absolutely hate working at normal jobs. Like I don't have the nerve for it. Like I have great respect for all the people who work like day jobs and going to work every day. And I used to do that too. I worked in retail. I worked at a GameStop. I cleaned toilets at a resort hotel, and like I moved boxes around. I worked at Google for a couple of years, and I've had great jobs and like not so great jobs, and I have a really hard time going to any of them, and so doing this is what I really wanted to do, and so I figured there's nothing really else I want to do, so I kind of want to make games, and part of me wants to write short stories. But anyway, that's beside the point. We got some more questions. When did you quit your day job to do music? Before, during, or after FTL? It was right after like FTL exploded. Like it came out, and like in the first day it sold, I don't even remember how many copies, but it was insane, and we were not expecting that. And it was like, oh, look at that! I'm making so much money, I don't have to like go to work anymore. So like a couple months after FTL came out, I quit my job and did this full time. Looks like you're using mostly Native Instrument plugins. Any reason behind that? Native Instrument plugins are the best. That's really all it is to it. I really love everything they make, and I use it all the time. I have other plugins, but I just don't use them as much. And a lot of things use Contact, like sample libraries work with Contact. So you just like, you kind of have to have Native Instrument stuff. But anyway, yeah. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Yeah, working in the library sounds cool. Yeah, you know, it can be kind of scary to commit to doing some kind of creative thing, but it's worth it. I would say it's worth it. Megarami asks, what did you do at Google? I diagnosed and repaired servers at the data centers at Google. And I also worked in like labs that were like test grounds for new data centers. Whoops. So yeah, that's what I did. It was fun, but I didn't really care much about Linux or servers or anything, and so eventually I just left to keep going with music for games. Let's listen to what we got again, so we can kind of figure out where to take it from here. Since we haven't been doing any music in a while. Oh, sorry, Mega Rammy, you missed it. I just said I fixed servers. I diagnosed and repaired servers in data centers at Google. And it was a really fun job when I was doing the more physical aspect of it. But eventually I was sort of expected to do more and more like coding and like scripting and more system administrator type stuff, and that's when I was like, ugh. I had to get out of there. As great as the job was, I had to leave. So, is there anyone here who joined in and like hasn't heard the whole thing yet? If you joined in later, because we can go back and listen to the whole thing. I want to do like. Maybe it'll sound cool. Yeah, I don't like the sound of that. It's like simple. Whoops. Hang on. Yeah, I don't like it. Getting rid of it. Blech. Okay. So we got some. Sounds cool. Did you go through a Linux on desktop phase at all? And when did you stop? Yeah, I did. I had like a Linux machine at home, but I didn't. Like I said, I didn't really care about Linux. I just cared about games and music for games. Hey, Amora. So I didn't. I just eventually was like, ugh, I can't do this anymore. And I left. But yeah, it was like, I joined at Google back when they were like, when they weren't as big. And so it was like, I didn't know much about Linux, but I knew a lot about computer hardware because I always build my own gaming rigs. And so they liked that. And they also liked the fact that I went to school for audio engineering and I made my own music. Because all the hardware team at Google, they were all DJs, which is hilarious. And so they let me join the team because it was like kind of like I kind of fit in pretty well, but not necessarily because of my skills. But they taught me everything, so I knew a lot about Linux and system administration for a while, and then promptly forgot all of it as soon as I left. All right, so let's go back and listen to the whole thing so we can get some context. This is really important. When you're making stuff, this is with any creative thing, I think, like drawing is the same way. You'll get really heavily into some small part of it, and you'll keep iterating on it and adding to it and modifying it, and then you might go back and listen to the whole piece and realize it doesn't fit. So it's good to stop and just go back and from the start and do it again. right, so that's the whole thing. Pretty cool. Hang on, I think we got some questions here, so I'm going to take a look here. Oh, yeah, so Nautilus Party here says, I've been working Cubase for 10 years now. I only recently learned that holding Alt and Shift while dragging up and down on a note alters the velocity. How often do you find you learn things that you just facepalm and think, why did I not know this sooner? That happens all the time. Every single audio workstation has so many features and so many little hidden functions that I'm pretty sure I'm going to be discovering new things that Cubase can do that are like super convenient, like to when I'm like 90. It's just never going to end. Oprabby says, who does the album art usually? You or the game developer? So I do all the soundtrack releases myself. And so I kind of decide where I get the album art from. Sometimes I get it straight from the developer. Like in the case of Starcrawlers, I got art assets from the game developers, and I gave those art assets to a graphic designer, and then they turned it into an album cover. Gravity Ghost, it was just Aaron Robinson, the developer, just made it for me. For FTL, it was the developers. They just used concept art to make the album cover. I hired an artist to do Dark Window and Color Sky. Those were just like art that I commissioned. And then, let's see, Deep Space Deluxe I did myself with the help of Amora. Yeah, so it totally depends. And got some more. Any other questions? Amora says I was a tiny help. Technically, on the art itself is very few pixels relatively, but it does make a big difference. I think it looks really cool. Amora added some like decay on some of the letters on Deep Space Deluxe. It looks really cool. Color this cello. It's kind of nice. Okay. Oh yeah, Sylvia Ritter is amazing. She did the Fragments album art, and she does this awesome like animal art where she makes these portraits of animals, and it has all this crazy like extra stuff around it. It looks amazing, and I can't wait to like work with her again and get something else for some other album cover. Mega Rami asks, have you ever done reactive soundtrack work like the Dota music packs that build and smoothly swap between the tracks to match what's going on in the match? It'd be amazing to hear your take on Dota music pack, by the way. Okay, so I never played Dota. Never played any kind of what do you call it? League of Legends style MOBA. So I'm not really sure how the music works in those. But FTL was reactive. It had two layers. Had like a explore version and a battle version, and it would crossfade between them depending on what was happening in the game. Oh yeah, and then you mentioned that. Yeah, I'm glad you guys like the cello. Yeah, it was sort of an idea I had just before the stream started. Oh, here, I'll just use this opportunity to show you guys another little technique that I do. So let's load up a synth. So I'm going to load up Absinthe, which is a favorite of mine, although I almost only ever use presets on it because it is so incredibly complicated. Okay, so this is Absinthe. It has like this crazy like, let me load a random one here. It has this crazy like patch setup that I can't always figure out how it works, but so we'll just load up a favorite pad of mine, like I don't know. See, I have this little list of pads here. So let's see what they sound like. What did we have as a chord we were working with? Like oh yeah, it was like that. So we're loading up Absinthe. We could like load up a pad here. Sounds pretty cool, right? I use this pad a lot. So I like the sound of that. But then, so what we can do if we want to make it like a rhythmic part, so that's just like hard to beat Absinthe pads. It's true. Like, Absinthe is one of the best sounding synthesizers out there. However, I don't necessarily recommend it because you're not gonna... There was one reviewer I read wrote, Absinthe sounds amazing, but you will never make anything that sounds better than the presets. And I think that is correct. So anyway, so watch this. So I have this other tool that I love. It's an effects tool, and it's called Effectrix. And Effectrix is an effects sequencer. So you can like load up like weird, like each one of these is an effect, and then this represents time, and this is a loop. So when we play this, I'm going to solo this and start hitting play here. We can just make it sound awful. So you can just completely mangle something. Whoa, I don't even know what I just did there. So it's pretty fun, right? But one basic thing I do. So this actually, let me back up a bit and tell you that when you listen to Starcrawlers and you hear all the really crazy like glitchy stuff in Starcrawlers, I used Effectrix for a lot of that. But anyway, what I like to do is just load up the stutter effect on it, make it a little less harsh, add a little bit of sound here, and then yeah. So we suddenly have a cool rhythm part that we made out of our pad synth. You can do it with any stutter effect. If you have some other stutter, I just use Effectrix because it's easy. But if you have something else that does like effects, like a stutter effect, then that's good. So now that we have this thing loaded, we can just load up other things too. Like let's load up this. Ugh, okay, maybe not that. That doesn't really have a tone. Oh, that's kind of cool. Or we can go like change the octave. Oh, maybe not that one. Whoa! Ooh, that sounds cool. And I like the deeper tones of that. So let's hear what it sounds like in place. Can't really hear it. Yeah, we already have too many things going, but I wanted to show you guys like how cool it was to just load things up. Oh yeah, and if the track isn't playing, you don't hear the effects because it's a sequencer. It needs movement. So yeah, that's like if you have a stutter effect and you have a synth pad, you can make an instant rhythm part. That's my point. So, and it's really fun to play with. And yeah, someone's mentioned how expensive everything sounds, and yeah, it's kind of like, it's tough. If you want to get into music production, you have to spend at least a little bit of money. It's just knowing where to spend that money. One of the best investments you can make is the Native Instruments Complete Bundle. That thing, it gives you, it's expensive, it's not cheap, but you get so much for it. You get a million different instruments and tools and synths and everything. Like, most of the stuff you've seen here, you can get in Native Instruments Complete Bundle. Contact is in there. The Absinthe massive battery, which was the drum kit that I just started using. Yeah, you get all that in like Native Instruments thing, so that's definitely worth looking into. Yeah, and just wait for like a sale. They do sales usually at Christmas and in the summer, and it's totally worth getting. If you're like super serious, you really want to get into music production, but you don't really know where to spend your money, just get that. Definitely. So we're not going to use this pad thing because it doesn't really fit because we already have a bunch of pad kind of like things, like rhythmic pads. But I just wanted to show you that. Kind of a neat little quick technique to make a cool rhythm part. So let's remove that. You know what we could do? We could maybe like add kind of a glitchy thing. I'll tell you another neat thing for doing like glitch style percussion. Let me see here. I have a kit that's just like glitchy sounds. We could do. So yeah, that's probably my biggest bit of advice is like if you're serious, you really want to get into music production, don't know where to spend it, get Native Instruments Complete Bundle. Just look it up. It's totally worth it. You get so many cool things, and you can expand it too. Like Contact comes with an orchestra library, and then you can get other libraries that work with Contact. And everybody, all the major library providers make Contact instruments, and so you can easily expand everything. All right, so what was I doing? Oh, I was going to do like a little glitchy thing. This might be kind of fun. Well, maybe it won't work, but this is what you do. You experiment. Okay. I'm going to do stuff that's going to look a little confusing for a bit. Sound iron crystal, I think it is. Maybe it's not. Yeah, here we go. So crystal has lots of little glitchy percussion. That's really fun. Maybe we'll do all the snares, so then you get like a whole keyboard. So that's really fun to play with. You can just sort of like mess around with it and it sounds kind of cool. So you're like, well, how do I make anything out of this? You're like looking at this, playing with it, and you're like, geez, how do I make a cohesive sound out of this? Well, it's a lot of it is in the velocity and how you present this. So I'm gonna do a thing where we just play random notes. I'm just gonna play random notes sort of to the rhythm. And then I'm gonna go from there, and you can see what I'm doing here. So this thing, Crystal, is just like a really cheap little library that's from Sound Iron. It probably costs like $30 or something, and you get all these nice little glitchy sounds. I don't know what these controls do. I guess that probably doesn't do anything. Oh yeah, filter. It's kind of fun. Anyway. Yeah. Oh yeah. You get Reactor with the Native Instruments complete bundle too, and Reactor is like a full-on like synth building workstation, and it can be really fun. And I assume that the new bundle, the latest complete bundle, comes with the newest version of Reactor, which looks really cool. I'm thinking of picking up that. So anyway, okay. So watch this. I'm gonna do a couple of things. I can't really play so fast to like without it just messing up. So I'm gonna play it kind of slow, and then I'll show you what we're gonna do here. Okay, so we just made some random notes. Random. Totally random. Now we're going to quantize. We're going to go to a 1/8. And we have iterative quantize. We're going to turn that off and do full quantize. So now we'll do chop these, ends off. Now listen to this. So it doesn't sound very exciting, but we'll make it more interesting. Oops. Okay, so yeah, it doesn't. You're like, oh, that sounds kind of lame, but we're not done. So next, I'm going to do the same thing over again. Let's move this out of the way, and we're going to record pretty much the same thing where we're making new random notes, right? Okay, so we did another collection of kind of random notes, and look, it looks like I hit a couple of simultaneous notes. Not a big deal. So then we quantize. Actually, I kind of like the sound of that one. Get rid of this one. So now we've got two similar things of random notes, and what I'm going to do here, I'm going to offset one of these by a 16th note. Grab the whole thing, offset all of it. And then I'm going to take the whole thing and turn it down by a lot. Okay. Now we're going to chop, chop. And we drag this back over it, and we play them simultaneously. And watch when I put these together. I'm going to paste these two together. Now we have this array of notes of varying velocities that's going to match up. Maybe it will, maybe not. We'll listen to it and then we'll take a listen. So let's hear it. This might sound awful. So, sounds kind of cool, right? Maybe let's separate these again. Let's turn this down a bit more even. Don't want anything at 0 though. So turn those up. Okay, so let's bring this back. Let's listen to that. Yeah, that's better. So then, bring those together. We get some questions here. Oh, man. Have you ever messed with tracker software before? They look like a very interesting way of building. Very programmatic, I guess. Yeah, I've never really worked with trackers. They look pretty cool, but it's not my style, I guess. I like being able to hit notes on a keyboard and like see everything. And like a lot of trackers like show things in hex code and stuff, and I'm I did that in Linux. I'm done. All right, let's see here. Okay, another question is, what does velocity mean in terms of music? Because it's probably not something to do with force and speed creating movement. So velocity means how heavily the note is hit. So it kind of relates to volume, but it's not exactly the same thing as volume. So like if you load up a piano sample, a piano key being struck really hard has a very loud sound. And then, you know, hitting the piano key very quietly gives you, or very softly, gives you a very quiet sound. That's all that velocity is. So it's I say that's all, but like velocity is key to like having things sound natural. So especially with like drum parts, like let's go to this thing. So this is that cymbal or the hi-hat part that I have, right? Let's solo it and you can hear it. In fact, let's go. I'm going to do a demonstration now of like what good velocity sounds like. So we're going to take, we're going to compare two different types here, and I'm going to turn off the effects on these two. So, okay. So let's do one where the velocities are all the same, or roughly, you know, can't really make it perfectly the same here. And then another one here where the velocities are all different. So the higher the line is, the harder the hi-hat is struck. So here it is with the sound. This is what you're used to because we just played this. So that sounds pretty nice, right? Here's with everything the same velocity. It's going to sound awful. Right? Ugh. It just sounds really mechanical, kind of like a marching band. You don't really want that. So that's like a demonstration of what the difference between like manipulating velocity is like and not. So it's super important in any kind of music production. Oops, hang on. So yeah, there you go. That's what velocity is. Very important. And oops. Here we go. Let's go back and listen to this. Oh yeah, gotta turn those effects back on. Whoop. So now we're going to, now that we made this kind of cool, funky, glitchy sound here with that one tool, we're gonna go in and modify it a little to like add some more like human flourish to it. So like let's listen to it here. Oops, I hate that. So right here I feel the need to put in a triplet of some kind. So we're gonna, that's kind of a good sound. So we're going to put in this right here, this triplet. So we're going to change the the grid to 1/8 triplet note, and we're going to put 3 of these in. Turn that up too. Might be too loud, but we'll find out. So we put that in. I'll even get rid of some of these other ones that are here. So it stands out more. So now, yeah, you know, a little nice little triplet there. So that's kind of cool. All right, we got some questions. Is that a launch pad to your right? Oh, this is an Ableton push controller. I'm sort of learning how to use it. It's very cool. It looks even cooler when it's actually like on and working. But we're not using Ableton right now, so I can't show you. It's a push 1. I believe there's a new push out, but I have the old version. I'm slowly teaching myself to use Ableton because Ableton's really cool, and I want to do live performance sometime, and I will do live performances on this live stream sometime. All right, I'm gonna listen to this again. Let's do another triplet with a different sound at the end here too. Where is it? Okay, here. Oh, that's nice. I like that. Get rid of these. These. That's kind of whatever. Doesn't matter too much. Yeah, I love triplets. I like putting them in like everywhere, and especially in like percussion, because it adds so much life to things. It might be like a launch pad. I don't actually know what the launch pad is, so I don't know. Yeah, okay. So let's keep going with this glitch thing, and we'll load up more traditional like glitch kit from that same library. So load up another contact instrument. And, let's color this first. I haven't seen a lot of blue lately. Okay. Now, load this up. So we have like crystal kits too that are just like... So it has like more traditional style kit. So you have like a kick and like snare. So let's find a snare, like a kick snare combo that I like. Well, that's kind of neat. Don't really like that. Ooh. 7. No. Maybe we'll do something else. Maybe not this, because we already have enough glitchy sounds with what's in there already. So let's load up another battery kit here. Where is it? Oh, whoops, I messed up. Let me remove that. I didn't actually load a kit. Loading up battery, putting it in there. So this has a bunch of fun kits. We could even do just like a really simple thing, like a 909 or something. Apparatus kit's kind of neat. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, that's crazy. These kits are usually way over the top, so I don't use them that often, but might be able to find like a good. Yeah, never mind. Forget this. Let's find a different kit. Try this 909 thing. So this is like a basic. Oh yeah, that's a good sound. So this is like, this emulates the 909 drum kit, which is a really old thing from the, I believe it's from the 80s, maybe the early 90s. Oh, we got some questions here. Do you play around with non-common time at all? It depends on what your definition of non-common time is. I guess I don't know if what that standard is, but I don't do anything really out there. The weirdest thing I've ever done is like a 7/4. I think I did one for Gravity Ghost. Yeah, Gravity Ghost had a 7/4. FTL has a 5/4. I believe Gravity Ghost does too somewhere. So yeah, I've messed around with it. I had this for a few years. I had this real obsession with 5/4 time, and I wrote like a bunch of stuff in 5/4, and I would find music that was in 5/4 and listen to it a lot. Yeah, 7/4 is very difficult. Not NG, but what is it? The Energy guys. I already forgot their names because it's been so long. Why can't I think of it? I'm going to look it up because I can't remember the name. FTL. Zoltan. The Zoltan music is in 5/4. Yeah, Professor's got it. Oh, and Master Sword, and I just missed it. So yeah, I do mess with it sometimes, but like, you know, it depends. 3/4 time a lot too. Yanni wrote a bunch of 4/7. Yeah. Okay, so we got this thing. I don't really know if we're going to use this. In fact, I'm going to try, I'm going to try something else. Hey Sfax, welcome back! You know what? This might be kind of neat is if we do a delay, do that ping pong with the 1/8. I don't know. I'm experimenting here, so who knows what we're gonna do. Could be great, could be terrible. I don't know. It's just kind of neat. We're gonna add some reverb to it too. I'll do something FTL style. Yeah, I don't know, it's kind of neat. And it was really simple too. That's kind of neat. Oh yeah, let's do context. So I've talked about this before, where you need to go back and listen to the whole song, and we should probably do that. So yeah, let's listen to it from the beginning again. I still don't like that transition. You know, it could even... Yeah, I'm definitely going to do... Sometimes maybe when it comes to that transition, put one percussive thump with a long reverb fade on it. Yeah, that's probably something like I'm going to do, something like that. Yes, and I agree. We need to stretch it out before that drum part comes in. So good call, Nautilus Party. I was thinking the exact same thing. So we'll move this forward. Turn this up a bit. This could be louder too. Yeah, let's keep going with this. We'll just double everything and see how it sounds, and then take stuff away. Ooh, we could even add this thing in with the drum beat. Okay, we need something else here to make it more exciting. Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna add that in. Alright, so we're gonna add a little bit more flourish and interest to this. Let me cut this up a little bit. Back here. Double it. What am I missing here? Something's not right. Oh, because this is only 3 blocks. Let's add another one. There we go. Whoops. Cancel. How's that sound? Yeah, that's much better. I still think that needs to get a little bit quieter. So we'll grab these. Let's just combine them and we'll turn it down the velocity a little. You can hear I've been doing this for a couple hours now. I'm losing my voice from talking so long. So we're doing another one of these rises here too, to really add to the interest. I still like that one the best. But we'll up the velocity maybe? I don't know. Let's listen to it. That's pretty cool. Okay, hang on. Let's make this a little bit louder. So I'm going down here and I'm changing the automation so that it actually turns up this whole part a little bit before it starts. Perfect. We can even do a little bit where we turn up the volume on the glitch part too. Since now we've added a lot more, we'll bump up the volume a little bit. See how that goes. Start here. This up too, as we're reintroducing this part. So, turn on automation, turn it up a little. Yeah, if you guys want to post links or whatever, go for it. I don't mind. All right, so this, I did something I didn't like, but this so I played that part, kind of improv'd it, and I don't like all of it, but most of it I like. So I'm gonna modify some of the notes that I hit. So I wanted this to be this note. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of this and pull this back. Maybe a little bit further back. Let's hear what that sounds like. I think everything else, though, I like. It sounds so quiet before. I don't know. Oh, Fireflazer has a kind of an interesting point. He says, would giving the second cymbal a more synthetic sound give the first one more emphasis as the main changeover? So I believe you're talking about right here, this part where, so first it goes, we got one cymbal there, and then we have it again. I just copied it over and I wasn't really thinking too much about it. I'm going to combine all these so we have it one part. Yeah, we can maybe change this to some other thing. What else is on here? Yeah, we could have like this. This is a little bit weaker sounding one, or is it the same thing? Where is that? Oh, it's up there. There we go. So it's like maybe not necessarily more synthetic, but it'll be a little less, be a little different. So it'll help the first one stand out. So that was a cool point. I see what you're saying. So someone says, how about an A leading to that B? Who was that? Oh, I missed it. Oh, yeah. Brilliant bravura. Bravura. So I see what you're saying. Let's see if we can do that. Why isn't this working? There we go. It may be kind of difficult because this thing does have a hard time with quick notes, but let's try it anyway. Hey, Thoslack. I can't handle it. It's too fast for it. That's okay. So we can just undo. It was a cool idea for sure, but this this Tina Guo legato cello is like just can't do very fast notes. But I liked the idea. It was a cool idea for sure. Let's go back and listen to this in better context here. Go back here. Alright, it's okay, don't worry about it. It was a cool idea, it was worth trying. so much of music production is just experimentation. Trying out things until you find something that sounds cool. So awesome. We have something that sounds really cool right now. I'm going to get this to go a little bit sooner. What was I going to say? I don't remember. Oh, here we go. Here's another thing that's worth experimenting is just taking stuff out briefly and listening to it without it. So like, okay, so we have a transition here. Right, but we could try, like, let's see what happens when we take those out and then listen to it. See, it actually sounds kind of cool because that bass line comes in. And then they come in. Oh, A on the first beat of 101. So I have a B there and an A. I don't know, I kind of like where it is right now. So I'm going to stick with this, I think. Whoops. So I think I should probably wrap this up pretty soon because I've been doing this for 2.5 hours. That last legato note feels like it's like, let's listen to it again. Yeah, it's a little bit behind. We can move it forward a little. Ooh, it already is kind of pretty far forward. Well, let's not worry about it too much. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap this up soon, but let's listen to the whole thing again. So I'm gonna play it and not talk, and you guys can just enjoy the track by itself. Okay, so that was the whole thing, and it sounded really cool right now. I've been watching the chat, and it's really cool to see how many people we have from all over the world. I'm so thanks so much for coming and watching this, because this has been super fun. We got a question about is there anywhere I can rewatch the stream? Yes, it will be on Twitch's archive for like 2 weeks, and I'm also going to export to YouTube as well. So it'll be on my YouTube page, which is youtube.com/Ben Prunty, and I'm going to try to make sure that all of these live streams end up there, because there's definitely like a demand for it. Hey, thanks, guys. Before I go, would you guys like to hear a track from... do you have a post anywhere about how you stream? Like programs, setups, and things? Yeah, I'm thinking of... I will definitely write a post on how I got this all going, for sure. So, yeah, please go subscribe to this channel. I'm going to be doing this every Saturday, and there's a possibility that I'll do it more than every Saturday. So, okay, I've got some other track that I was working on, and it'd be fun to share it with you guys before we go. It's from Dark Side Detective. So I'm going to close this. So save that and close it. And let me see here. I'm going to move this away so you guys don't see secret stuff. Check out the cool whale. All right. Open. All right, it's going to take a little while. Yeah, I picking Saturday 2 p.m. was deliberate. Like, I wanted to pick a time that would get the most people, allow the most people, like, to be able to watch this thing. All right. I believe this is it. Yeah, this is it. Okay, so this is from Dark Side Detective, which is another game I'm working on. You can go to darksidedetective.com. I'm typing it in right now. I believe that's the link. I hope that is. Let me click on it and see if it goes there. Yeah. Okay. So Dark Side Detective is a really cool adventure game. It's kind of like a comedy adventure game, kind of like in the style of Monkey Island. But you play as like a paranormal detective, And so I was making this track for it, and I thought it'd be fun for you guys to hear it. So, oh, I have to actually set it up to stream. So let me go turn it on here. I believe all this is correct. Start streaming. All right. Let's have a listen. Here we go. All right. So yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks for all the kind words about it. It was some of the most fun I've had writing music in a while, and I'm really pleased with it. This is for a scene when the ghosts of literary authors show up. So like H.P. Lovecraft shows up. Who else? Now I can't remember. Edgar Allan Poe shows up. A few others. And yeah, it was. I wanted to do like an Elfman vibe, like old Elfman, and it's just really fun. I wanted to share it with you guys. So glad you liked it. There is not going to be any adaptive music for this. The game is really slow paced because it's like an adventure game, like Monkey Island. So you're just sort of wandering around, and you have these cases, and you talk to people, and the game is super chill. So we just have music that plays during specific scenes, and that's about it. And the game is really fun. Like every time I've played like a new build of it, I've just loved it. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, Lovecraft would be pretty awkward to hang out with, but he's pretty funny in the game. Um, but yeah, you guys should definitely check it out. You can play a demo right on the website on that link that I just posted. There's like a little demo, and you can hear some of my music there. This is way more orchestral than the rest of the soundtrack because I just want to do something different. Um, a lot of it is more electronic, like more like my other stuff. But this one, I really want to do something different for it because I really love the ghost authors. It's very cool. Anyway, um, thanks everybody. I'll be back on Saturday to do another one of these. Allison and I will be playing something on Tuesday. We'll play. I don't really know what. We usually play horror games. Thursday, I may continue doing the Super Metroid, but Anton's in the UK and Joe is in China, so I just do another like creative live stream on Thursday night. It's kind of a weird time. It's like 7 p.m. Pacific time, so uh, it may not you may not be able to make it. But anyway, I'll definitely do another creative live stream on Saturday, 2 p.m. Pacific time. Uh, so please subscribe. Talk to me on Twitter and tell me what you thought of this and like if you liked it, and let me know what you'd like to see more of, um, and maybe what you would like to see out of a Patreon if I do a Patreon campaign of this. But yeah, thanks everybody, and I will see you. Some of you I'll see on Tuesday, and I'll see the rest of you on Saturday, hopefully. So thanks a lot, guys. Bye. Where's the button? Here we go.